Chapter 81, Immovable. You are listening at novelfull.audio. No, hurry up, a few more people. Ling Xiao saw that there was a problem with the protective wall and hurriedly shouted. Several other Lingjia masters jumped out and tried their best to maintain the protective wall, so as to avoid the fall of the protective wall. This horrible gang shock, if it really hits the disciples around them, it is estimated that the disciples with 5 heavy martial arts will be seriously injured. Actually blocked. This time, even Ling Xiao was taken aback. He already looked up at Ling Xiao, but really did not expect that Ling Xiao actually blocked Ling Fifen's shot. No, it's not just blocked. After the flames dissipated, Ling Fifen still took a few steps backwards, and the spear in his hand was shaking, obviously losing again. Ling Xiao still stood still, but to be honest, this time Ling Xiao was not easy. Forcibly used the strength of the 4 peaks of Wumai to fight with Ling Fifen so hard. The strange purple fire of the other party actually invaded his body. Even though he practiced 9 turns to the golden body, he couldn't be burned by this flame instantly, but he couldn't let this purple fire go out. Fortunately, a clear stream oozes out of the mountain and river Wuhuan. It should be the cold air of the Handan gold liquid he put in the mountain and river Wuhuan before extinguishing the purple fire. This is impossible. How could this be? Ling Fifen couldn't believe the scene in front of him. He had taken out his spear, but the opponent was still undefeated. No, it didn't even move from place to place. Is this possible? Kill. Ling Fifen absolutely can't stand the emergence of this kind of situation. He just used 8 success forces in the first blow, but still didn't use his full strength. That's because he feels enough to beat Ling Xiao, but the result was unexpected. This time, he didn't plan to keep his hands. He didn't. 10 success forces, purple flame promise gun. The same move, but the attack under the 10 successful forces is significantly stronger than before. When many people on the stage pinched sweat for Ling Xiao actually smiled. Isn't he stupid? Why did he laugh? Boom. At the next moment, people finally know why Ling Xiao smiled. Wumai's 5 realms. Patriarch Ling Xiao, the referee, and many top Ling family members did not change color. Ling Xiao has just hidden strength. When everyone thought he had done his best, he surprised everyone. This kid, I am really convinced. Ling Yihang smiled and shook his head bitterly. He now felt that if Ling Fifen was a genius, then Ling Xiao was simply a devil. The demon above Ling family and genius. They are very excited one by one. Ling Xiao is actually quite excited, and finally meets an opponent who must use the Wumai realm to overcome. Can he not be excited? Ling Fifen's attacks are not weak, and one trick after another. The tricks are terrifying, except for Ling Xiao and a handful of elders. Few of the people present were confident of taking such an attack. However, on the stage, a dark shadow flickered around like a residual image, but the other person stood there, still as a mountain. Let you attack crazy, let your flames burst, but he is completely golden, and the golden light seems to be more and more bright. This, really up. Yeah, what a terrifying defense martial art. If he goes on like this, wouldn't he be invincible? If he can't break his defense, he won't win him. This should be the strongest attack against the strongest defense. Yes, it must be. Hearing these people, Ling Xiao felt a little funny. The strongest attack. I haven't shot yet. A quarter of an hour has passed. Ling Fifen's mood has been a little messed up. Ling Xiao said before, standing still and letting him fight for half an hour, he couldn't move Ling Xiao's hair. At the time he thought it was a joke. But now, he was really a little flustered. What made him even more depressed was that Ling Xiao was afraid that he didn't know. At 1/4 of an hour, he reminded him intentionally. 2/4 of an hour. Fighting is still an attack, a defense. Ling Xiao has never meant to fight back. No, it's impossible that the extraordinary brother really cannot hurt Ling Xiao's hair in half an hour. This Ling Xiao is too terrible. He actually said it was true. He really planned to not fight back for half an hour. I think it's almost the same. It's been 2/4 of an hour. I don't think he doesn't want to fight back, but he can't fight back at all. How can he fight back under such a powerful attack from an extraordinary brother? Although some people still do not believe that Ling Xiao can defeat Ling Fan, most people no longer doubt Ling Xiao's strength. Being able to stand there and fight Ling Fanfan for 2 quarters without hurting a single hair is a terrible skill in itself. On the second-ranked seat, Ling Yun, who was already mad, now had a bloodshot at the corner of his mouth, muttered to himself, "Impossible, this is impossible. How is it possible?" That he suddenly yelled, "Ling Fifan, what are you playing with, and you haven't knocked down that waist?" That on the other side, Ling Xing also vomited blood with anger. This kid, not only wasn't killed, but his strength was so terrible. Why is God so unfair and so kind to this kid? That he was a little scared, and even if he did it himself, he might not be able to kill Ling Xiao in a short time. The best time to get rid of Ling Xiao is over. Once Ling Xiao won the finals, the entire Ling family will protect him. At that time, who dares to touch Ling Xiao? It is against the entire family he hates. Ling Xiao was also very upset. He regretted why he didn't kill this kid by himself before he let this guy grow up to today, 3 quarters. Ling Xiao calculated the time silently. He found that Ling Fanfan's attack gradually weakened. Ling Fifan's initial attack was indeed very strong. He also had to deal with it carefully in order to stop it. With the powerful analysis ability of Xuanhuan, he could be invincible, but now, Ling Fifan seems to be a bit unlucky, and his moves are getting weaker and weaker. No, you cannot underestimate the enemy. Ling Xiao thought about the scene of being besieged in the Fulong Mountains. At the last minute, we must not underestimate the enemy. After all, Ling Fifan is the first genius of the Ling family. He certainly has other cards. Oh my god, half an hour soon passed. Won't it end like this? In the referee seat, some referees have begun to worry about Ling Extraordinary. After all, it is ugly to lose. www.wuxiaspot.com. Do you really think that Ling Fifan is so easy to defeat? The reason why I protect Ling Fifan is not related to him, but I think he is worth cultivating. The chief referee snorted coldly and looked at the competition platform. He still remembered the scene he had seen before. That was a stunning shot. Who? Suddenly, Ling Fifan, who was attacking with all his strength, disappeared on the contest platform. Ling Xiao, you are very good. It is already proud to be able to force me to this part, but when I take the next move, you must bleed, either serious injury or death, and now you have lost your time. Ling Fifan's voice floated in the void, as if coming from all directions. He could not accurately capture his whereabouts. Despite coming, you have been waiting for this shot for a long time. Chapter 82, Instant Freeze. You are listening at novelfull.audio. On the competition platform, it seemed that the air had condensed. Ling Fifan's shot, although not fast, completely blocked all the escape routes of Ling Xiao. The whole spear seemed to burn up, and the sound of beep boom came from the air, which made the scalp numb. What kind of marksmanship? How terrible! On the observatory, some disciples chose to escape because they couldn't bear the powerful might. Yeah, it seems that the shooting from the 9 nether purgatory is full of killing spirit. Father, we can't compare it anymore. Both Ling Fifan and Ling Xiao are talents of our Ling family. Losing anyone is very bad for the Ling family. Ling Air was a little anxious. He could see that Ling Fifan's shot was absolutely terrifying, and it was the feeling of killing Ling Xiao, so he hurriedly shouted. Second brother, this is your fault. In the competition field, the result hasn't come out yet, and Ling Xiao didn't admit defeat. How can he stop? Ling Xiao was the first to object. Yes, brother, I know that Ling Xiao is yours, but you can't protect him like that unless he takes the initiative to admit defeat. Ling 13 also stood up and said. Ling Xiaotian frowned slightly and asked, Ling Xiao, are you willing to admit defeat? Acknowledge defeat? Thank you Patriarch for your concern, but no need. Ling Xiao stared at Ling Fifan. This shot did not make him feel scared, but made him feel excited. This kind of battle is only interesting and helps his promotion. Faced with the doubts of everyone, Ling Xiao did not explain much, but the breath in the body continued to increase. From the early stage of Wumai Wuzhong to the later stage of Wumai Wuzhong, this scene shocked everyone again. Did this kid eat the heavenly treasures? How could he practice so fast? Wumai's 5th period. No wonder Ling Fifan is not afraid. The referee's face also became dignified. He really didn't expect that at this time, Ling Xiao actually had no cards to use. Come on Ling Fan, let me see if your gun hurts my hair. At this time, Ling Fifan could not hear Ling Xiao's voice anymore, and all his energy was poured into this gun. This is a shot forward. It's a shot of breaking the ship. No chance of regret. Boom! Finally, the spear once again touched Ling Xiao's hands, and two flames soared into the sky. As a last resort, several other Lingjia masters jumped out and tried their best to maintain the protective wall, which prevented the protective wall from being penetrated directly. Prick. Huh. Ling Xiao's golden body was broken. A closer person suddenly discovered that the layer of golden light above Ling Xiao's double fists was actually punctured by the tip of the spear. It seems that the strongest attack will defeat the strongest defense. My God, it's finally over. It's also a pride to be able to force extraordinary brothers to this part. Yeah, it's still glorious. Defeat. Ling Xiao slipped a sneer in the corner of his mouth. It really should be over. Half an hour has passed. Next, I should fight back. Fight back. Hearing his words, everyone in the audience was shocked. After a long time, he didn't have no power to fight back, but he really had to give Ling Fifan half an hour of attack time. Is this too ridiculous? Bragging, must be bragging, his golden body has been broken, what other means can counterattack? That is, the 9 turns to the golden body he most relies on is no longer good. This young man, the spirit of not admitting defeat is good, but it's not good to talk big. On the referee seat, someone shook his head and laughed, but at the next moment, they suddenly found strange changes on the battlefield. Mtlnovel, meteor star fist. Suddenly, the flame on Ling Xiao's body was extinguished, and it was replaced by an amazing cold, but at that moment, the air around him had been condensed. Xuanhuan Qi Ju. That's right, he finally used Xuanhuan Qi Ju, and matched it with his strongest attack martial art meteor star shaman. The originally hot meteor star turned into a cold meteor star at this time, as if a huge ice ball appeared, and then directly hit Ling Fengfan's gunpoint. The meteor star fist that has been promoted to the realm is not weaker than the top martial arts mastering the realm. Coupled with the top-level inner strength mentality Snow Lotus Qi Ju, this is simply an explosive blow. Click. Click, click. There was a weird situation on the field. Starting from the tip of the gun, Ling Fifan's spear was actually wrapped in cold air and frozen into ice, followed by the gun barrel, and then Ling Fifan's hand. Those purple flames frantically chased, trying to escape the cold attack. However, it is of no use. Ling Qifan has consumed almost the same as Ling Fifan, which is simply the subsequent weakness. Unable to bring any help to this purple flame, but Ling Xiao is different. He is still full of stamina. Stop. Suddenly, a loud rumbling sounded on the viewing platform. That's Ling Fifan's grandfather. I heard that the extraordinary brother has died since his childhood and his parents were brought up by this grandfather. Yes, and his grandfather is still the elder of the Ling family, and his status is not lower than that of the patriarch. Ling Xiao heard these people's comments, but he couldn't stop, because he could feel that Ling Fifan still had enough power in his body to kill him. If he stops now, the opponent must fight back, and he will be seriously injured if he does not die. So not only did he not stop, but also accelerated his attack. His fists were sent out fiercely, directly printed on Ling Fifan's chest. Ling Fifan did not fly out, but his whole body condensed into ice at that moment, and the stunned expression on his face was frozen at that moment. Sin obstacles, the old man said that you will stop. Suddenly, a figure rushed directly to the competition platform, and then slapped towards Ling Xiao. This speed is too fast, no one has reacted, and it is impossible for someone to save Ling Xiao. However, this palm was not taken after all. Ling Xiao had known everything for a long time, and others stood behind Ling Fifan, looking at the white-haired old man in front of him, saying, Your Excellency should be the elder of the Ling family. Do you want to destroy this year's big than the rules? Sin obstacles, this year's big tack is not allowed to hurt people's lives. The old man blew his beard and stared, but he couldn't help it. As long as he dared to move, Ling Xiao would dare to kill Ling Fan directly. The elder is too much www.wuxiaspot.com. You laughed, I didn't want to kill Ling Extraordinary. Ling Xiao said lightly, it is Ling Fifan who really wants the life of his juniors. Quickly thaw him, although the warrior in the chi stage is strong, even if he is frozen, he cannot breathe, and he will not die in a short time, but there will still be big problems after a long time. It can be unfrozen, but you have to promise me 2 conditions. Ling Xiao said. Sin obstacles, you are not worthy to talk about conditions with the old man. Oh. It turns out that's the case, then forget it. Your father will unfreeze it for him, but don't blame me for not reminding me. The freezing of his coldness came from the Fulong Mountains, except me. People can lift it, you can try if you don't believe it, Ling Xiao grinned, and suddenly Xuanhuan walked far away. He wants to keep a certain distance from this old guy. In this case, it is also easy to prevent. Chapter 83, I am number 1. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Taishang elder did not chase because he was more worried about Ling Fifan. When he stepped forward to tinker for half a day, he yelled at Ling Xiao with frustration, Sin obstacles, you are not here to save people. Elder Tai, I said that, promised me 2 conditions, I will save him. Ling Xiao is not stupid again. This elder is too afraid to treat him, but if he saves Ling Fifan, that may not be the case. Say, Taishang elder's complexion changed, and he could only say helplessly. The first condition is to apologize to me. I am not a scumbag. I am a disciple of the Ling family recruited by Mr. Ling Xiaotian, the head of the Ling family. And I defeated Ling Fifan and won the first place in the Tiancating Genius Disciple. His intentional introduction of Ling Xiaotian was to use Ling Xiaotian as a shield. He is too high as an elder, but he will not give Ling Xiaotian face. After all, the patriarch is the highest power class. The old man was angry for a while and said the wrong thing. He should not be called a scumbag. Should this be the case, although it is very sincere to say this apology, Ling Xiao does not want to make things too rigid. After all, the other party has already apologized. The elder Taishang apologized to an ordinary disciple, which was also the first time the Lings were afraid. The second condition is to swear in public not to retaliate against me with personal grudges. Ling Xiao held out a second finger and said. No problem, can I start saving now? This Taishang elder was extremely angry, but for Ling Fifan, he could only bear it. This swears that he can't understand Ling Xiao at the Ling family, but Ling Xiao can't never go out, right? Sooner or later find this little to settle accounts. Of course. Ling Xiao still stood in the distance, just flicked a gang of gas past. The coldness on Ling Fifan's body quickly disappeared, and the solid ice quickly turned into water. The referee, it seems that you haven't given the penalty result yet. After thawing Ling Fifan, Ling Xiao looked at the referee seat. Yes. The referees on the referee seat only recovered. Ling Xiao challenged Ling Fifan's success and temporarily won the first place in the talent hall. Ling Fifan temporarily lost his ranking. Number 1. This is really an accident. Ling Xiao didn't want to challenge Ling Extraordinary so quickly at first, but once he wanted to crack down on Ling Yun, he couldn't get used to Ling Fifan's high appearance. Another reason is that he is late too, but he has been treated differently. That's all. Even the referees and the senior officials of the Ling family watching him are sneering at him. Therefore, he hoped that he could defeat Ling Fifan as soon as possible and let out his bad breath as soon as possible. Of course, the most important reason is that he feels that among the disciples of the Ling family, the only thing that can stimulate his potential and force him to use more than 80% of his strength is Ling Extraordinary. No one else can do it, and it doesn't make sense of exercise. As the referee announced the result, the scene immediately boiled, and everyone unbelievably screamed and talked. Ling Xiao defeated Ling Fifan, which is a huge upset. Many people think of multiple possibilities, but they do not think of such possibilities. Ling Xiao, the dark horse, actually went from black to the end, from defeating Ling Yihang in the knockout to become the first elite hall, to defeating Ling Fifan in the finals to become the first talent hall. It's really black, although the finals are not over. Others can challenge Ling Xiao, but to be honest, those who can defeat Ling Fifan are basically among these disciples. No one can beat them. This young man, just half a month ago, was just a warrior with a heavy line of arms. This rises like a comet. Ling Xiao bowed his hands to Ling Ling and Ling Xiao. He must be grateful to these two people. Otherwise, he may not be able to participate in this game today. Then he arched his hand at the referee's seat and the audience. The referee will not say, at least the penalty is fair, in the auditorium, although there are not as many people supporting him as Ling Fifan, it is not without, indicating that the following should also be. Then he walked over with a smile and sat on the first seat in the first row. Ling Yun, who was sitting next to him, saw Ling Xiao coming, almost spitting blood. This thing that he regarded as rubbish, worthless mentioning, actually sat in front of him, actually defeated Ling Fan, whom he dreamed of defeating. Ling Fifan, you are a waste, actually lost to this garbage, you are not worthy of my opponent. Ling Yun shouted loudly. Ling Fifan has gradually recovered at this time. In fact, he was not seriously injured, mainly because it was too expensive. His eyes glanced over and looked at Ling Yun lightly. Is it? Then I will challenge you next, let you know what it means to say big words. Ling Fifan doesn't want to challenge Ling Xiao for the time being. He has a feeling that Ling Xiao didn't show his full strength in the end. That guy is more terrible than he thought. He has to keep the top 3 positions first, and then go after it, although the next game is also very exciting, but to be honest, with the battle between Ling Xiao and Ling Fan, the audience always feels that there are shortcomings. Ling Xiao challenged the 8th-ranked disciple, and actually made a breakthrough in the battle. She then challenged the 7th place again, still winning. It was just too difficult to challenge the 6th place. She suffered a lot of injuries and eventually lost. After 5 chances of challenge, Ling Xiao has been used up. If he can maintain his current results, the 7th place is also very good. After all, like Ling Xiao, she was a disciple who was recruited from outside. It is already remarkable to be able to reach this level when resources are scarce. On talent, she is afraid that she will not lose to Ling Fan. As long as the resources are sufficient, it will be very easy to enter the top 3 next year. Ling Yihang chose to abstain. It can be seen that he originally wanted to challenge Ling Xiao, but temporarily changed his mind and turned his attention to Ling Yun. The reason for giving up this round is that he wanted to observe Ling Yun's battle before challenging. In the 3rd round of challenges, Ling Fifan really had to challenge Ling Yun. Ling Yun, you said that I was waste, then I will show you today, who is the waste. I now recover less than 50% of the skills, but to win you, 1 move is enough. Facing Ling Xiao said that, it was arrogant, but in the face of Ling Yun saying, Ling Fifan was completely sure, because he knows Ling Yun too well. He still dares to say so under the circumstances. www.wuxiaspot.com. That is sure. Be careful, the wind flashes. Ling Yun naturally refused to let. Ling Fifan didn't say anything. He took out his spear directly this time, and then the tip of the spear locked Ling Yun, and the purple flame burned again. Although this flame is obviously not as good as it was against Ling Xiao before, it is still not to be underestimated. Whisper. In the air, the gang gas was continuously burning, and the purple flame permeated the evil breath, exuding a suffocating terror. When the spear tip jittered, Ling Yun seemed to see the faces of the dead in front of him. He was startled because he knew that it was an illusion produced when the pressure was too great. He had thought that this shot was not serious, but when he really faced it, he knew how terrible this shot was. Chapter 84, Generous Rewards. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What came into view was a huge grimace, lifeless, giving a sense of extreme fear. This fear, puncturing the depths of Ling Yun's soul, made him shudder. He couldn't understand how Ling Xiao blocked it when he just faced the gun. Thunder soared. At a critical time, Ling Yun did not dare to have any secrets. Shiqing's chi turned on, and his sword intentions were also displayed, trying to resist the terrible soul attack. There was a faint thunder sound in this sword, and there was a little spark above the long sword, but it was light blue, just like absorbing lightning. Thunder sword is a top swordsmanship. This sword definitely has the level of mastery. With a sword stabbed, I believe that no one but Ling Xiao can resist it. This can be said to be Ling Yun's most terrifying blow under great pressure. However, it is useless. In the face of Ling Fifan's shot, his sword is like a child's trick. The feeling of being completely suppressed made him vomit blood uncomfortably. He couldn't understand, how could such a powerful Ling Fifan lose to Ling Xiao? In front of Ling Fifan, he is a ants. Clang! The spear and the long sword collided together, the purple-black flame collided with the light blue lightning, and made a scream like something hysterical. Ling Yun just insisted for a moment, his body flew out suddenly, although he was about to stop at the edge of Bai Wutai, the stations were unstable, and there was even blood in his mouth. I'm a waste, what about you, who can't even take me? Ling Fifan almost spread his anger towards Ling Xiao on Ling Yun. Fortunately, he lost half of his skill, otherwise Ling Yun would definitely be seriously injured. Ling Fifan challenged Ling Yun's victory and temporarily ranked second. Ling Yun lost his place. God, Ling Fifan actually defeated Ling Yun in one move. It really looks like he is not strong, it is Ling Xiao that is terrible. Some people were puzzled before, thinking that Ling Fifan's strength had declined, and even the top three might not be included, but this time the showdown made them clearly understand that Ling Fifan was not weak, but Ling Xiao was too strong. Ling Xian's face became more ugly, his two sons, one Ling Feng, was scrapped by Ling Xiao in the knockout, a Ling Yun, although not lost in Ling Xiao's hands, but afraid that the inner blow came from Ling Xiao. How could the little beggar grow to such a level today? He was really a little scared. If he did not find a chance to kill Ling Xiao, he worried that he would be killed by Ling Xiao. After Ling Fifan challenged Ling Yun immediately challenged Ling Xuan and won. Such repeated challenges, in the last round, basically, the rankings are all ranked, Ling Xiao first, Ling Fifan second, Ling Yun third, Ling Yihang fourth, Ling Xuan fifth, Ling Yishua sixth, Ling Zhan seventh, Ling Xiaopeng and Ling Depeng ranked first 8th 9th, Ling Yihang challenged Ling Yun, but unfortunately failed. Although his knife skill is very strong, after all, Ling Yun is superior, and the powerful sword is not a joke. Although there were still a few people who had no chance to challenge this round, they chose to give up in the end. The first 4 challenges, basically see who is strong and who is weak. It is not only a waste of time but also meaningless to challenge again, no one wants to do useless things. Okay. That's it for the finals. Next, Patriarch Ling Xiaotian announced the final award. Ling Xiaotian smiled and slowly stood up from the seat, although he didn't deliberately release the breath. The kind of breath that belonged to the Wumai 7th peak warrior at the explosion stage was still diffused, powerful like the terrible 7th level peak monster in the Fulon Mountains, many of the disciples trembling involuntarily. Even Ling Fifan and Ling Yun all showed awe. But Ling Xiao's face only had respect and no fear. Respect is because the patriarch is fair, not afraid, not because he is strong, but because he has seen the terrible 8th level pinnacle monster, and he has also seen the blue clothes that pierced the 8th level pinnacle monster. Woman, so for the powerhouses of Ling Xiaotian's rank, they are less afraid. What's more, he is now alone in combat strength, which is enough to compete with the martial arts in the early stages of the 6th layer of martial arts. The sturdiness of the qi in the body is not lost to the Wumai 7th martial artist. As long as he is willing, catching up with Ling Xiaotian is only a matter of time. And this time will definitely not be too long. Ling Xiaotian's eyes swept across the disciples instantly, and said like Hong Zhong, I am only announcing the top 3 awards here, and the rest of the awards will be announced on the notice board, and everyone will look carefully at that time. He did so. No one would have an opinion. Pay attention to the top 3, which is itself the rules of the Ling family. 3rd place, you can choose 1 top martial arts, 2 advanced martial arts, in addition, reward Gang Chidan 1. 2nd place, you can choose 1 top martial arts, 3 advanced martial arts, in addition, reward 2 Chi Dan. The 1st place, you can choose 3 top martial arts, get the opportunity to freely enter and exit the 2nd floor of the bookstore. Choose advanced martial arts will no longer be limited, get 10 Gangchi Dan rewards, in addition, get a great treasure. The status is equal to that of Ling Pao, and enjoy many privileges. When Ling Xiaotian announced the first prize, Ling Xiao knew that his choice was right. The 1st place is obviously richer than the 2nd and 3rd prizes. This is obviously a lot more than the rewards in the previous rumors. In addition to the top martial arts most valued by Ling Xiao, there are also 10 rewards of Gang Chi Dan, which even equates to elders in the family. This is awesome, which means that even after seeing Ling 13 and Ling 9, they can sit on par with them. No wonder Ling Fifan was so unpretentious. The prerogative of the first talent hall is too much. Okay, except for the top 3, the rewards of the rest can be collected from the warehouse. The second and third prizes will be distributed on the spot. As for the remaining rewards, they will naturally be implemented afterwards, don't worry. In addition to the distribution of Gang Chi Dan on the spot, there is also a special elder token. The remaining rewards will be implemented afterwards because of the choice involved. In this way, Ling Xiao Tian announced the end of the reward, Ling Xiao, as the number 1 in the Big Dan. Yu reading www.yuukangshu.com received 10 Gang Chi Dan, and got a token. This token represents his identity as an elder. As for the rewards of top martial arts, you can find time to collect them after the end. The first place is really envious. This reward is too rich. Not only are there 3 top martial arts rewards, but they also reward all kinds of treasures, and have tokens equal to the identity of elders. Gee. Yeah, that Ling Xiao took a big advantage this time. What's cheap, that's the number 1 that you really get. Everyone off the field was naturally envious of Ling Xiao. Ling Fifan stared at Ling Xiao with his teeth clenched, clearly vowing to take back all his own things. Ling Yun was even more gloomy. This time, the big match hit him very hard. Not only did he easily lose to Ling Fifan, but he was even thrown away by Ling Xiao, let alone avenge his brother Ling Feng. It was simply lost face. Chapter 85, Keep Going Strong. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ling Xiao, your performance is worthy of your self-confidence. From today, the Ling family will focus on cultivating you, and I hope you will not live up to the pain of the old man. Ling Xiaotian is very capable of speaking. Whether he is sincere or not, these words make Ling Xiao very comfortable to listen to. If it weren't for the patriarch, Ling Xiao would no longer be eligible to participate in the competition today. Ling Xiao naturally remembers the patriarch's grace. To be honest, he has a bad impression of the entire Ling family, but he has a good impression of this Ling Xiaotian. After going back, quickly decide your future direction. A handy weapon can improve the combat power a lot. The treasure of the treasure is too important for you now. You must choose it. Ling Xiaotian reminded, after choosing, come directly to me to pick up. Disciples understand. Okay, go. Yes. Ling Xiao also felt that she should decide what weapon to use. Although unarmed combat sometimes helps a lot, weapons, especially weapons with blessing effects, are too much for a warrior's combat power. Why is the 100-step flying sword the strongest attack now? It's not because of how powerful this martial art is. The key is that the breeze sword has a special bonus effect, and it's an ordinary treasure. Ling Xiao, congratulations. After receiving the award, Ling Xiao did not intend to stay here. He didn't like the messy atmosphere, but after just 2 steps, Ling Yihang came. Although he had also defeated Ling Yihang, there was no feud between Ling Yihang. On the contrary, he still appreciated the character of this person. You are also very eye-catching. Don't brag about the 2 of you. This time you won the first one and the 4th one. It's really a long face for our elite hall and the bottom disciples. In the laughter, Ling Yishua's beautiful face appeared. Perhaps because of the good results, Ling Yishua's unsmiling face also had a little more smile. You are not bad, sister. Ling Xiao smiled and said, the 6th place in the Temple of Genius. This record, I am afraid that many people did not expect it. How can I compare with you? I really didn't expect that you could defeat Ling Fifan. This is indeed an accident. Although Ling Yishua is very optimistic about Ling Xiao, he is very surprised that Ling Xiao can defeat Ling Fifan. Actually, I was also lucky. I was chased and killed, and I encountered an adventure in an accident. Only then did I raise the state to the later stage of the Wuzhong, and I also practiced 9 turns to the golden body to the 6th turn. Ling Xiao shook his head and said, speaking of it, I have to thank the man who bought me and murdered me. Who wants to kill you? Ling Yihang exclaimed. Ling 13. Ling Yishua frowned, except him, I can't think of a second person. Ling Xiao smiled and said, Sister Yishua is really smart, it is indeed Ling Xing. Then what are you going to do? Now that you are equivalent to the status of an elder, you can go to the patriarch and report Ling Xing. Ling Yihang said. No. Ling Xiao shook his head and said, after all, people are flesh and blood, how can they give their son a heavy hand? This matter, for the time being, I can only be forbearing. Yes. Ling Xiao nodded and said, I'm not Ling Xing's opponent right now. I can only be forbearing for a while, but if I'm in a hurry, I won't make him feel better. If he kills Ling Xian desperately now, he can definitely succeed. Okay, don't say this, let's go back together. Ling Xiao, Ling Yihang, and Ling Xiao all live near the second man's house, so they are on the same road, and now they are equivalent to publicly supporting him. After all, the Ling family is a family, not a sect, so the position of the patriarch can only be borne in Ling Xiaotian's son. Unless one day there is a special accident, therefore, it is a good idea to support Ling Heir now. At least a lot of dark arrows can be helped by Ling Heir. Go. When the three left, Ling Yun narrowed her eyes and said to Ling Fifan, the woman you fancy is indeed extraordinary. I just missed Ling Xiao. Humph. Although Ling Fifan knew that Ling Yun was provoking, he still could not bear Ling Xiao talking and laughing with Ling Xiao. That's my woman, no one wants to take it away, Ling Xiao. Today's shame, I will definitely repay it in other days. After that, Ling Fifan followed his grandfather, the elder of the Ling family, and left. There are only 3 elders in the Ling family. It is the strongest existence of the Ling family except Ling Xiaotian. It is normal for Ling Fifan to get his advice and improve his strength quickly. Grandchildren, that Ling Xiao only met the adventure and won you, but he is right in one sentence, you lack experience, grandpa is too spoiled for you, then you are ready to go out and experience it. Other places are too far away, just practice in North Korea, come back once a month. Grandchildren obey. On the other side, the appearance of Ling Xiao walking side by side with Ling Xiao made many Ling's male children envious, but what about envy? Ling Xiao is the number 1 of Genius Hall, and beauty admiration is normal, it's just that they didn't know that Ling Xiao and Ling Xiao didn't have a love for love at this time. Ling Xiao is very clear that winning the first prize of the year is just the beginning. The painful lesson once taught him that he can only be slain without power. Within the family, there are enemies like Ling Jiao and Ling 13, outside the family, he killed Li Xingyan. Although it has not been exposed, there is no airtight wall under the sky. One day, the Li family will know about this matter. When the time comes, the Ling family may not do their best to help him, so he can only continue to improve his strength, so that no matter who comes, he can be without fear. As for Ling Xiao, she is an orphan, and she has never had the so-called happiness. She just wants to continue to improve her strength. One day she can leave Tianfeng City and leave the Northern Han Dynasty to find the mystery of her life experience. Of course, the two people are somewhat sympathetic to each other, and this must be admitted. After returning home, Grandpa Hong Qi had prepared the dishes and waited. This time Ling Xiao won the first place in Tiancating, making Hong Qi really feel excited. Xiao Daitu now officially joined the Ling family and became a child of the Ling family, and was given the name Ling Luo, of course, these things were arranged by Ling Heir. Ling Xiao did not worry much, but if it weren't for him to pass the battle, www.wuxiaspot.com won the first place in the knockout and the finals, and eventually became the king above all the disciples of Ling's family. It is estimated that Ling Heir will not help a little beggar. In this world, there is no love for no reason, no hate for no reason. As long as he is stronger, his family is safer. After eating, Ling Xiao returned to the practice room. In order to rush to participate in the finals, he suspended the practice of impacting the 5 peaks of martial arts. Now that the finals are over, he has received another 10 chi, coupled with the Handan gold liquid placed in the world of mountains and rivers. It is time to shock. Although he said that he won Ling Fifan this time, his real whole cards are still useless. Martial will, into the soul, 100 steps flying sword, Xuanhuan soul. If someone thinks he is doing his best to come and trouble him, then he will let the other party know what despair is. Chapter 86, 10,000 Races. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Having a whole card doesn't mean you don't have to continue to improve your strength. Ling Xiao is well aware that there are still many difficulties he faces, and his current status is all in exchange for strength. if you want to consolidate and enhance your status, you must continue to move forward. Go ahead. He closed his eyes and began to practice Snow Lotus Chi Ju. The cultivation of top-level inner power mentality is really very difficult. Even if you have the Handan Golden Liquid, the Golden Snow Lotus, and the Gang Chi Dan, you may not be able to improve much. After all, his current Snow Lotus Chi Ju has been cultivated to the 5th floor, and has entered the realm of mastery, and it becomes very difficult to go further. It can be difficult, you can't choose to give up because of difficulties. He swallowed 3 Gang Chi Dan in one breath. After all, his level is not low now. If only 1 Chi pill is used at a time, it basically has little effect. After eating the Gang Chi Dan, his Gang Chi was obviously faster and more powerful, and began to expand the 5th Wumai repeatedly. The martial arts under 1,000 hammers is the strongest martial arts. Even if the warrior succeeded in impacting all 9 martial arts successfully, it could not be said to be over. Because Wumai is a place where internal force is stored, no matter what form your internal force is, either true Qi or Gangqi, it is always stored and excited through Wumai. The stronger the martial arts, the higher the quality of Gang Qi and the larger the body mass. Cultivating martial arts is a matter of a lifetime. Impacting success is only the first step. Gang Qidan turned into pure Gang Qi internal force into the 5th martial arts. Ling Xiao did not dare to neglect, and quickly ran the Snow Lotus Chi Ju began to absorb. At the same time, the mountain and river martial arts are also running at the same time. Part of the cold liquid stored in the mountain and river world is also extracted from the cold liquid, integrated into his body, and gathered together with the Gang gas. Since his own Qi volume has already reached the level of the Wumai 7th martial artist, it is actually relatively easy to impact the Wuzhong Peak realm. Start practicing after eating dinner. In just 1 hour, he absorbed all the effects of the 3 Gangqi Dan, and the 5th martial arts was completely cleared, and he was successfully promoted to the 5th peak of the martial arts. After all, the amount of Gang gas is only in quantity, but the promotion to the 5 peak height of Wumai, this is a big step forward in strength. If you let him fight Ling Fan now, it may be easier to win. After all, Ling Fan is nothing more than the 5 peaks of Wumai. However, he is not as good as him in terms of strength, skill, application, and amount of Gang gas, so he is certainly not his opponent. After the realm broke through to the peak of Wumai Wuzhong, it was considered to be a Caner who wanted to impact Wumai 6-fold, but it was not an overnight matter, so he plans to do something else first. The finger of the blue woman who met before in the Fulong Mountains has been constantly emerging in his mind, making it difficult for him to calm down and practice, so he intends to try to understand that trick first. Even if you can't fully understand its true meaning, as long as you can comprehend about 10% of the standard, it can become his killer question. Thinking of this, he gently shook his body, and immediately there was a person exactly like him, that is his martial arts avatar, has his 30% strength, but the advantage of this Wuhuan clone is not strength, but imitation. Wuhuan avatar can imitate anyone's moves. Ling Xiao adjusted his strength to about the same level as Wuhan's doppelganger, and then gave Wuhan's doppelganger an order to make him imitate the blue woman's attacking moves. Come, attack me with all your strength. Ling Xiao's body of gold shone, apparently elevating 9 turns to gold body tips to the 6th turn. He did not dare to neglect. After all, the blue woman's moves are too horrible. Even the 8th level peak monster beast Hercules was killed by her. Although the Wuhuan avatar is low because of the low level, the power of the show must be low, but he was suppressing his strength at this time. He was not careful. If it were really killed by Wu Soul, it would be a joke. He didn't let Wuhan's avatar show mercy. Only in the tempering of life and death can the true combat skills be tempered. Suddenly, Ling Xiao drove Xuanhuan to Wuhuan doppelganger, turned into a golden light, and his fists hit the other party like a meteor. He did not intend to be merciful. Anyway, Wuhuan's avatar can be recreated without it. As long as he has enough mental strength and qi, he is not afraid to create it. But at this time, Wu Soul's avatar was standing there quietly, and suddenly raised his right hand, so gently. In the eyes of Ling Xiao, there is an almost colorless Gang, as if it is integrated with the whole world, and if he has mountains and rivers and martial spirits, he cannot be found at all. It's worse. Ling Xiao intuitively felt wrong, hurriedly changed his fists to defense, directly blocking himself. However, at the next moment, his whole body trembles, and his arms and chest are painful. Stop! Too frightening, Ling Xiao shouted Wu's soul doppelganger. In just one stroke, his arms and body were penetrated directly. Fortunately, at the critical moment, he avoided the key point, otherwise today he would really die in the practice room. What kind of trick is this? How can it be so scary? Is this the legendary martial art? Shook his head. I'm afraid no one can tell him the answer. At the very least, there is none. If you learn this trick, you really have to be invincible under the same level. Where is that woman in blue, which is sacred? If she wants to destroy Tianfeng City, no one can stop it. Thinking of this, Ling Xiao could not help but take a breath. When he was a child, he often listened to Grandpa Hong Qi about some roadside stories. In the outside world, Tianfeng City doesn't look so peaceful, and no one knows which day a war will break out. No one knows which city will be destroyed directly one day. Human beings are only the humblest race in the whole world, and there are as many as tens of thousands of races in this world. All other races are stronger than humans. There is no reason for it. The key is that mankind has lost the martial spirit that once relied on hegemony. Nowadays, there are few human warriors who can awaken the martial spirit, which is also the biggest reason for human weakness. Of course, he used to listen to it as a story, but since he saw the woman in blue, he didn't think so. Although the appearance of the blue woman belongs to humans. www.wuxiaspot.com, Ling Xiao thinks that she should not be human, because her breath is too different from humans. In this regard, Xuanhuan's soul also gave the same answer. It's just that the race of the woman is unknown to him. The reason is that his strength is too poor, which affects the effect of Xuanhuan. Come on. To live. For loved ones. At present, Ling Xiao does not have such a great idea. He will not say to work hard for the entire humanity, because he is not worthy. With his current strength, there are many people who can kill him. He wants to become stronger, and the terror of the blue woman has become the trick he most wants to understand. Come again. Chapter 87, Cultivation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ling Xiao's wound has gradually healed. He already had the healing medicine redeemed from the medicine hall, plus the strong recovery effect after the 6th turn of the 9 turns golden body tips. If it is just an ordinary injury, it's relatively easy to get up. In this way, he repeatedly fought with Wuhuan doppelganger in the training room. Every time you have a fight, you have a better understanding of the horror. When this knowledge accumulated to a certain degree, he stopped fighting, sat down cross-legged, and began to comprehend the horror finger. After all, he was not trying to crack that finger, but to learn. Although the blue girl's seemingly random finger is too mysterious, far exceeding the advanced martial arts he learned, but learning so repeatedly, coupled with the analysis and drill effects of Xuanhuan, as well as Ling Xiao's already outstanding talent, after a full night, he still had a big gain. His so-called relatively big gains are actually about 10% of the horror of the blue woman, but even so, this finger has reached the level of top-level martial arts. How terrifying it would be if it were fully understood. He was ecstatic in his heart. It seems that these injuries on the body today are definitely worth it. There are dozens of holes in his body, large and small, some of which are hemostatic, but they can still be clearly seen. As for clothes, it's already bad, but compared to the harvest, that is obviously more. You are so powerful, then just give you a name, just call it a finger of terror. Ling Xiao didn't think too much. The reason why he got such a tacky name is because the feeling that this finger lends to him is 2 words -terror. In this case, why not call it terrorist one finger? The comprehension is almost complete. You can try the power of this trick. That he suddenly smiled and looked at Wuhan doppelganger. You guys have been bullying me all the time, and then I should bully you again. Stand still. Ling Xiao rubbed his hands, then suddenly pointed out, a gang of gas that was indistinguishable to the naked eye turned into a blade-like breath and shot out. Pooh! A hole was shot in Wuhuan's shoulder. Ha ha ha, really powerful, but unfortunately I am not skilled enough. Then you can move or even attack me, but you can't use this trick. If you only attack a fixed target, then you can't see the terrible of this move. The reason for this horror refers to 2 main reasons. One is that it is powerful enough, another aspect is the speed. After showing 10 times a finger of terror in a row, Ling Xiao suddenly discovered a phenomenon. although this horrible finger also consumes gang gas, it consumes very little. This is not a good thing, because energy conservation, it consumes so little gas, it will naturally consume other things. This horror refers to the most consumed, actually the soul power. Ling Xiao could obviously feel that every time he cast a finger of terror, his soul would be touched. With his current soul power, he can exert 10 times at most 10,000 fingers of terror. It seems that what is more important next is to enhance the soul power. I don't know if there is a top-level secret method for practicing soul on the 3rd floor of the library. If so, it will be great. Thinking of this, he couldn't wait. He stopped the practice directly, left the practice room, entered the room and changed his clothes, and went to the library. But when he walked into the yard he was stunned. A man is kneeling in the yard, a woman. Ling Yu, what are you doing? Ling Xiao frowned as she looked at the girl kneeling there. Ling Yu knelt there, pear blossoms crying like rain, and there were tears on her cheeks, which made people feel like they wanted to take care, but that is someone else. Ling Xiao had already given up on this woman. If it was only naughty and mischievous to bully them before, then he abandoned him when he was the most difficult, which really disappointed him. Fortunately, he still has a chance to fall in love with this woman in the future, so it is not sad, it's just disappointment. Ling Xiao. I have recognized my heart. In fact, as early as when you were a beggar, I already fell in love with you. At that time, I bullied you, just because I liked you. Ling Yu looked at Ling Xiao and said, don't you ever hear of it? It's a curse to love it. Ling Xiao felt a nausea. He took a deep breath and said, don't mention the past, we have nothing to do with it. I won't remember how you used to treat me. It's just the two of us. This life is destined to be a stranger. Ling Xiao, don't you want to give me a chance? I really like you so much. The reason why I am better with Ling Feng is just to stimulate you and want you to become stronger. Ling Yu cried again, this woman is really shameless. Ling Xiao glanced coldly at Ling Yu and said, I have already said, you and me, there is no possibility anymore. You go, don't say those despising words. If you stay by Ling Feng now, I might even look at you high. Ling Yu puffed and fell to the ground. During the knockout, she also thought about the ways she could kill Ling Xiao. Just seeing that Ling Xiao actually defeated Ling Feifen in the finals, she suddenly springed up. With his own charm, he wanted to turn around and look for this silly boy. Wouldn't he let him kneel and lick? However, he was disappointed. Ling Xiao's decisiveness and completeness made her completely lose hope. Ling Xiao. Brother, not suddenly, two voices came from outside the door, and Ling Xiao's originally irritable mood suddenly improved a lot. One of them was Ling Yihang, and the other was Ling Yixue. When Ling Yu saw Ling Yixue, she seemed to understand something in an instant. Outside the Ling family, she is a proud little princess, and everyone else has to follow his wishes and have to protect her. But when she arrived at the Ling family, she instantly changed from a beautiful white swan to an ugly duckling. That nobody cares about. So she chose to give up her efforts, and turned to rely on appearance to attach to men and Ling Feng. But the same ugly duckling, Ling Yixue, chose a completely different path. Ling Yixue did not rely on anyone, nor did she stubbornly. She worked diligently, forgot her beauty, and forgotten how charming she was as a woman. Therefore, the road between the two also created a huge fork. Ling Yu has become a dependency of others, and his strength naturally cannot improve much. Ling Yixue is getting stronger and stronger, and his status is getting higher and higher. www.wuxiaspot.com. With his own strength, he has become a real white swan. In fact, although Ling Yu's qualifications are not as good as that of Ling Yixue, they are not much worse. It can be seen that she can learn the secret technique of soul distraction. If she worked as hard as Ling Yixue, it would definitely not be the result today. Such a pity. Until this time, she still did not realize her mistakes. She was just jealous of Ling Yixue frantically. Why could Ling Yixue get Ling Xiao's smile and Ling Xiao's care, and she can't? After clenching her teeth, she turned and ran out of Ling Xiao's house. Isn't that woman with Ling Feng? Why did she come to see you? Ling Yihang asked suspiciously. It's okay, but what are you two doing with me this time? Ling Xiao didn't even bother to mention Ling Yu at this time. Chapter 88, Double Shadow Sword. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ling Xiao is a bit strange. Ling Yihang and Ling Xiao suddenly came to find out what was wrong with them. Oh, I almost forgot. We are here to ask if you went to the bookstore to get martial arts. Ling Yihang rushed to say. For this matter, thank you too for reminding me. Speaking of it, I am about to go. Ling Xiao arched his hand and smiled. Alas, top martial arts, it is really enviable, I'm missing one. Ling Yihang sighed and said that it is impossible to not envy. He is the 4th place in the competition this time, and the top 3 are only available for top martial arts. Brother, please go ahead and choose. The top martial arts matter. It must be carefully selected. We will not disturb you. Ling Xiao said with a smile. Thank you sister for reminding me, then I will go. Ling Xiao said goodbye to Ling Yihang and Ling Xiao, and set off for the library, but on the way, he heard an amazing news. Ling Fifan lost again. Not only did they lose, but this time they suffered even worse, losing to the opponent in one move. Who did Ling Fifan lose to? Ling Xiao always felt that Ling Fifan was the only disciple of the Ling family who could pose a threat to him. Now that Ling Fifan has actually defeated him, it is impossible for him not to care. Brother Ling Xiao. Seeing Ling Xiao, the 2 disciples hurriedly arched their hands. You're welcome. Who did Ling Fifan lose to? He was not domineering, after all, he also came from the bottom disciples, knowing the tragedy and unhappiness of being bullied. Brother Ling Chen. Ling Chen. Who is Ling Chen? Ling Xiao was puzzled. He didn't come to Ling's house for a long time. He really didn't hear the name Ling Chen. It's no wonder that Brother Ling Xiao didn't know that Brother Ling Chen had defeated Ling Fifan 4 years ago and won the first prize of that year, when he was only 13 years old. Just came back. It turns out that, thank you too. Ling Xiao took a deep breath. No wonder he didn't know, it was even a genius than Ling Fifan, but it doesn't matter, no matter who it is, it doesn't matter much to him. His important task now is to continue to grow stronger. After thinking about it, he continued to go to the library. Brother Ling Xiao is different. The 1st place in the Genius Hall is so polite to all of us. Yeah, much better than Ling Fifan. Ling Xiao didn't hear the 2 people's argument, but even if he heard it, it was nothing. He did things, and he never changed because of other people's argument. Not long after, he had arrived at the bookstore. Today it is not Ling Xiao and Ling Xing that are keeping the Tibetan bookstore, but Ling Yiri. The 2 met and smiled at each other. If it was said that Ling Er had intended to envelop Ling Xiao and used Ling Xiao as a tool for power struggle, then his mind had changed. He just wanted to make a good relationship with Ling Xiao as much as possible, because he could see that Ling Xiao's future is unlimited and definitely a person worth making. Ling Xiao, are you here today for 3 top martial arts? Ling Er asked. Okay. Go, follow me to the 3rd floor. Most of the martial arts there are advanced martial arts, and of course there are a few top martial arts. Ling Er walked and introduced Ling Xiao enthusiastically. Ling Yiri, are there so many top martial arts in the Ling family? Ling Xiao asked suspiciously. Ling's family is considered to be 4 major families in Tianfeng City, but it is only a Qiping family in the entire northern Han dynasty. There are not many top martial arts, but there are about 20 kinds. Ling Yiri explained, there are 6 species on the 3rd floor, and the rest are stored on the 4th floor. Not all top martial arts, why is there such a division? Ling Xiao asked puzzled. In fact, although there is no clear distinction between top martial arts, the power and scarcity are divided into 3 grades, entry-level top martial arts, rare top martial arts, and superior top martial arts. Ling Er answered. Is there still such a division? After Ling Xiao found that he had heard what Ling Er said, there was a new reminder on the mountain and river chart. His 9 turns to the golden body actually belongs to the top martial arts. Shuoyan Qi Ju is a rare top martial art. Xiang Yunbu Hua Jiao and Niu Magong Ningxia belong to the entry-level top martial arts. No wonder he always feels a bit strange. It is also a top martial art. 9 turns to gold body skills is obviously much stronger and difficult to practice. This is the 3rd floor. well, you can choose whatever you like. Today, I am here. You will not be limited by any time. Choose well. You must choose the 3 top martial arts that suit you. Ling Xiao said with a smile, this is a good thing for someone. If Ling Xiao or Ling 13 guard the Tibetan bookstore, I'm afraid he will be troubled again. Thank you, Lord Ling. Ling Xiao is also not polite. This 3rd layer is not the same as the 2nd layer. The 6 top martial arts are directly marked, so it is easier to choose. Although advanced martial arts are no longer in his eyes, advanced martial arts can also be used to prove some martial arts skills, so he first read all the advanced martial arts on the 3rd floor and copied them directly into Xuanhuan World's library. He also copied the 6 top martial arts, however, in order to avoid doubts. He still picked it out pretending to be, of the 6 top martial arts, 3 are the ones he cares about more. One of them is double shadow sword. Ling Xiao thought about it, still prefer the elegant and free of swordsmanship, so in terms of weapons, he intends to try to practice swordsmanship. This double shadow swordsmanship is an entry-level top swordsmanship. Its advantage is that it can transform 3 shadow avatars when attacking. These 3 shadow avatars are exactly the same as the main body. At the strongest, the strength is equivalent to 50% of the main body. This shadow doppelganger attack is not very strong, but fortunately, it can confuse opponents and allow Ling Xiao to perform real killing tricks. In addition, he has Xuanhuan avatars, which adds up to 4 avatars. For him, practicing this double shadow sword technique is definitely more effective. The 2nd top martial art he liked was Yu Jianshu Black Iron Roll. He didn't know what this Black Iron Roll meant, but this was the entry-level top martial arts, which is certain. The effect of this top martial art is similar to that of 100 Steps Flying Sword technique, except that Black Sword of Imperial Sword technique has a higher grade. www.wuxiaspot.com. Both the attack power and speed have been greatly improved. The most important thing is that this Black Sword of Royal Sword art can produce a sword shadow, 1 attack, 2 swords. The enemy is more defenseless. The 3rd top martial arts, Ling Xiao selected Ning Soul Trick, which is also a set of entry-level top martial arts, which is a secret method of soul cultivation. There is no other benefit, that is, it can enhance soul power and strengthen soul, but this is particularly important for Ling Xiao. He doesn't plan to watch the other 3 top martial arts for the time being. He still understands the reason for being greedy and chewy. After all 3 top martial arts have been cultivated to the point of no improvement, it is too late to practice the other 3. The only pity is that the top martial arts placed in this 3rd layer are all entry-level top martial arts. But think about it too, the Ling family has about 20 kinds of top martial arts in total. It is already generous to put 6 books on the 3rd floor. It is estimated that the rest are on the 4th floor. Unfortunately, he has no chance to go up now. Chapter 89, Unfair Treatment. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ling Xiao, are you sure you want to choose these 3 top martial arts? Seeing the 3 top martial arts selected by Ling Xiao, Ling Xiao suddenly showed a bitter face. Ling Xiao has something to say, but it doesn't matter. Don't worry. Ling Xiao said. Ling Xiao sighed. This double shadow swordsmanship was originally positioned as a top martial art because it can not only confuse opponents, but also has a terrible attack. Because the 3 shadow avatars and the main body attack can be superimposed, the power is even close to the legendary martial arts. Why did it become an entry-level top martial art? Alas, helplessness is helpless here. This martial art is extremely difficult to practice. After putting it in the Ling family for so many years, no one has succeeded in practicing, just because the avatar can't condense out, and practicing is also white practice. Ling Xiao said with a wry smile. If this is the case, then I will choose it even more. If others can't practice it, then it's unique. Ling Xiao thought of the Xiang Yunbu and Bull Magic Gong he got, and always felt that since the double shadow swordsmanship was once positioned as a top martial art, he definitely had his reasons. Double shadow swordsmanship is divided into 6 layers, and there is only one cultivation requirement. That is, the practitioner must have a solid skill, otherwise it will never be a clone. Earlier Ling Xiao has said before, the most terrifying thing about this sword is that the attack of the body and the avatar can be superimposed. Once you reach the top level, the 3 avatars plus the body attack can increase the attack power by nearly twice. If you simply discuss the attack power, I am afraid that it is the top of the top martial arts. Since you want to choose it, I can't stop you, but I still have to say some things. Ling Xiao said seriously, our patriarch once practiced this martial art, but at the end of training, he still couldn't condense a doppelganger. Finally, he gave up helplessly, so there was a rumor that it was this martial art. Although learning is a top martial art, it requires extraordinary martial arts to be able to practice successfully. Is Ling Xiao thinking that I can't succeed either? Ling Xiao asked with a smile. Ling Xiao froze for a moment, and suddenly fell into contemplation. Yes, the 9 turns to gold body skills is also a top martial art that is extremely difficult to practice. This kid has successfully cultivated, so it may not be possible to create another miracle. I believe you, Ling Xiao said suddenly, you can cultivate basic martial arts and advanced martial arts to the realm. This kind of talent and comprehension ability can't even be compared to the old man. Ghost Sword has been dusted for so many years. I really want to open it in your hands. Of course. Ling Xiao said confidently. The reason why he is so confident is not that his talent must be stronger than Ling Xiao, but because Wu's soul has already told him the answer. The method of condensing avatars in double shadow swordsmanship is exactly the same as Xuanhuan avatar. That avatar is the combination of soul power and gang qi. Most people do not have martial spirits, and of course they cannot condense their avatars. This swordsmanship cannot be cultivated naturally, but he can. If you can successfully practice the ghost sword, you may be able to fight Ling Chen. Ling Xiao touched his chin. Ling Chen. It was Ling Chen who just came back. Ling Xiao asked with a frown. This Ling Chen seems to be very popular. As soon as he came back, he received the attention of all the people in the family. The limelight completely overshadowed him this year. Yes, it is him. This son seems to have realized some of the extraordinary martial arts fragments. His strength is beyond imagination. He can easily defeat Ling Fifan in one move. Can you do it? Ling Xiao asked. Not for the time being. Ling Xiao thought about it and shook his head. Well, you are very humble and honest, but I believe in your potential to surpass Ling Chen sooner or later. Ling Xiao said with a smile, but you should also note that Ling Chen is the son of Ling 13, and won the favor of the patriarch. I am afraid that if he returns this time, he may be taken to the 4th floor to observe the extraordinary martial arts fragments. He was stern in school, and vigorously cultivated by the family. It might be that even a 1,000-year-old snow lotus collected by the family would give him 1 or 2. Ling Chen is actually the son of Ling 13. Ling Xiao was a little surprised. You're afraid I don't know? My brother has 3 sons and a daughter Feng, Chen, Yun, Xia, but Ling Feng and Ling Yun are all in the family, and Ling Chen worshipped a ranger as a master at the age of 13, traveling abroad. Yun Xia is even more powerful, and you will know later. Ling Xiao said with a bitter smile, although you have outstanding results, after all, you are an outsider. Ling Chen is the grandson of the old man, and you will get more than you. He is really worthless for Ling Xiao. In any case, Ling Xiao was the first in this competition, and he defeated Ling Fifan, one of the 4 sons of Tianfeng City. It stands to reason that Ling Xiao is the disciple who is qualified to be brought into the 4th floor to observe. Ling Chen suddenly returned. The 4th floor of the Lingjiao bookstore has always had a rule. Within a year, only 2 people could be brought in to observe. Ling Chen is definitely one. Another place, I am afraid that Ling Extraordinary, as the grandson of Taishang Elder, Ling Fifan's status is not lower than Ling Chen. He told Ling Xiao to listen to it. He just wanted to win the favor of Ling Xiao, because it is somewhat similar to Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao is just the so-called wild species born by Ling Xiao outside, and has no status in the family. Despite his outstanding qualifications, he was outstanding among Ling Xiaotian's 13 sons, but he did not receive much attention. Even so far, Ling Xiao could not even bring his own biological mother to live in the Ling family's ancestral home. Thank you Ling Xiao for telling me this, but is the fourth level only the fragments of extraordinary martial arts? There is no complete extraordinary martial arts, Ling Xiao asked excitedly. As far as I know, the four major families in Tianfeng City have no complete martial arts, and even the fragments are only 4 or 5. Ling Er shook his head and said, "You must know that extraordinary martial arts are martial arts above the secular martial arts, and only those who have cultivated to the martial arts 9th level are eligible to obtain and practice. It turns out that I am at ease. That if you really let Ling Chen and Ling Fifan get the extraordinary martial arts, Yu reading books www.yuyucanshu.com, then he had no chance. Ling Yuri just said that the 3 top martial arts I chose are not suitable. I already know the reason for double shadow sword, what about the other 2? Ling Xiao quickly changed the subject, he did not want to struggle too much about things he could not change. Black sword of imperial sword art is also a good martial art, but it needs a flying sword art as the foundation. This flying sword art is best advanced martial arts, and cultivated to the realm, otherwise it cannot be cultivated. Ling Yuri said, and this martial art also needs good flying swords to use together. Flying swords are shorter and thinner than ordinary long swords. They are difficult to build and very rare. I see, what about the soul gathering? Ling Xiao secretly rejoiced that he had practiced 100 steps flying sword technique, and he had already reached the level of transcendence. He was absolutely qualified to practice this black sword of imperial sword technique. All the treasures can be used for a long time. Chapter 90, Ice Glass Sword. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The problem with condensation of souls is that cultivation is not very useful. We human warriors tend to focus on chi. We don't need to deliberately cultivate soul power. Instead, we have a soul race that specializes in soul power. All martial arts are released with soul power, Ling Yuri explained. It turns out this is the case, but in case of encountering the kind of soul retraction that Ling Yu used before, if the soul is not strong, it will still be a disadvantage. I will choose these 3 top martial arts. Ling Xiao randomly found an excuse to pass by. Ling Yuri said nothing more. Geniuses always have a genius personality, and they are generally stubborn. They are more willing to take their own path, and others may not be suitable. Go, register, and then you can leave. The secrets of martial arts in the bookstore are generally copies, which were originally hidden in more secret places, so it's okay to take them out, it's just that you have to return it by the specified time. For example, this top martial arts must be registered once every 7 days, this is also to avoid someone taking cheats out of cultivation. In case of being robbed, then the loss will be great. Even if it is only the entry-level top martial arts, that is also the top martial arts. Once lost, for the Lings, it is really a major earthquake event. After all, the Ling family has only about 20 kinds of top martial arts. Ling Xiao went to the first floor with Ling Er, just arrived on the first floor and saw Ling Xiaotian and Taishang elder Ling Yin standing there. There are 2 young people behind them, one is Ling Fan Fan in a purple robe, the other one is a young man in a white scribed shirt. It is estimated to be Ling Chen. Ling Yin is naturally Ling's grandfather. Ling Wuhan, how do you keep the bookstore? The first floor has been empty for so long. Ling Wuhan is the name of Ling Yuri. Ling Yin was fierce as soon as she came up, and apparently did not like Ling Wuhan. The elder Taishang does not have to blame him, I let him help Ling Xiao to choose the top martial arts. Before waiting for Ling Wuhan to reply, Ling Xiaotian had first released the siege for him. Humph, but when Ling Yin heard this, her face was not very good looking, but there was nothing to say. Ling Xiaotian's position was very stable, even if he was too elder, he could not suppress the patriarch. Patriarch, Ling Xiao rushed to Ling Xiaotian, arched his hand. Oh, have you chosen all? Ling Xiaotian asked with a smile. People Qijuan, the disciples have selected 3 top martial arts and are about to register to leave. Ling Xiao didn't even look at the Taishang elder Ling. He was a vengeful man. The Taishang elder, regardless of his face, actually attacked him in Dabi, which is really hateful. Unless he is not such a man, he must learn this old thing. Exactly, you still have a reward for a rare treasure, you don't know what you plan to do. Ling Xiao asked again. Sword, Ling Xiao replied. Good choice, sword, ancient sacred goods, supreme and noble, the gods of human beings. It is the ancestor of short soldiers, a weapon of close combat, with profound skills in Taoism, and then into the legend of the mystery. Sword and art have always been vertical and horizontal since ancient times. The battlefield, dominating the martial arts, standing in the country, and doing good deeds, so it is still loved by people around the world, and it is deeply rooted in the people's hearts with its glorious history. Ling Xiao smashed his beard with a smile and said, the sword has double-edged blades with straight heads, which can injure people horizontally and penetrate through stabs. It is dangerous and anomalous, born to kill. Choosing a sword as a weapon means choosing to attack mainly. It seems that you are also a person who likes to take the initiative to attack. Speaking of which, Ling Xiao waved his hand, and a long sword appeared in his hand. This sword is named Bingli Sword, and all the treasures are given to you today. I hope you can continue to improve your skills and add glory to the Ling family. Patriarch Xie. Ling Xiao took the ice-glass sword and felt a chill when he started. This sword should be built by Hantai, but it is very suitable for use with his Snow Lotus Chi Ju. It's better to use such a good sword for my brother. Suddenly, Ling Chen spoke. While speaking, he actually reached out his palm and tried to grab the ice-glass sword from Ling Xiao's hand. Ling Xiao can feel that Ling Chen's realm is probably already more than sixfold in Wumai, and he is really not an opponent because of his extraordinary martial arts. However, if the opponent was so easily taken away by Bingligian, Ling Xiao would be too embarrassed. Stepping on the foot, Ling Xiao's body quickly retreated. Xiang Yunbu Jiao was launched, and it was as fast as electricity. However, Ling Chen is really powerful. His body style is not worse than Ling Xiao. He can enter as many times as Ling Xiao retreats. Enough. Ling Wuhan shouted and reached out to stop Ling Chen. Although Ling Chen is unparalleled in genius, his strength at this time is not as good as that of Ling Wuhan. This seat guards the bookshelves today, and you are not allowed to come here. Oh, I'm just kidding. Why shouldn't Erwa get angry? Ling Chen gave up, looked at Ling Xiao with a smile, and said, can you still hide behind my second uncle for a lifetime? Ling Xiao lightly smiled and said, you are 6 years old, and you are 13 years old, but it's just Wumai triple. It took 7 full years, and it took me half a month from Wumai 1st to Wumai 5th. Time, I am not your opponent now, but who knows what happens in a few days. Something. Ling Chen's face sneered, and then stepped up to the 2nd floor, and dropped a sentence. I will go to the 4th floor today to understand other extraordinary martial arts mystery, but also to learn rare and even top-notch martial arts. What do you compare with me? Ha ha ha. Ling Xiao knew that Ling Chen said this intentionally, and he did feel very unhappy at that moment, but after a while, he calmed down. Man can't be too greedy, he already has the Wu soul, why should he be angry? So in the face of Ling Chen's provocation, he walked over to look for the 2nd top martial arts, and then left the bookstore. At that time, Ling Chong, Ling Feng, Ling Yun and Ling Fifan all looked down upon me so much, but they have been defeated by me one by one. Although your Ling Chen is stronger than them, it is just a stepping stone for me to become stronger. Just look. After leaving the library, Ling Xiao returned directly to his home, and then entered the practice room to practice. He first practiced Black Sword of Imperial Sword Art. The reason for choosing this first is mainly because he already has Niomagong by Buffet Sword skill. The two are interlinked, only a higher grade. Therefore, based on 100 steps flying sword technique, practicing Black Sword of Imperial Sword technique, UU reading www.uukangshu.com is naturally more effective with better results. Because of this, just 1 hour later, his Black Sword of Imperial Sword Art has been successfully introduced and cultivated to the 1st level. Compared with the previous 100 steps flying sword technique, it is more powerful and can be transformed into 2 sword shadows, adding the flying sword itself, then 1 sword and 3 shadows. These 3 swords can not only attack in groups, but also attack one person in a stack, but they need a strong soul to manipulate. In conjunction with Niomagong Ningxia, this is only the entry-level top martial arts Yu Jianshu Black Iron volume, can fully achieve the power of rare level top martial arts. Of course, if you want to match the bull demon skill, you must first practice the black sword of the sword art to Deshang realm, and then let the bull demon skill Ning Xiao be swallowed up. So in the next few days, he did not touch the ghost sword, but put his heart and soul on the sword of iron sword and the soul of Ning.